Full moon in Aquarius. On this full moon in August, let us look into the mirror of this moment as reflected in the cards. Number 8, Red Garden. Number 40, Co-create. Number 11, Individuality. Red Garden. What I see in this card is a lush tropical environment with an individual who is both of the environment, of their surroundings, and also separate. On this individual's shoulder is a green parrot. Green parrots are very social creatures, very social birds. If you've ever seen them in the wild, and they do live in the wild in many urban areas, they are loud, gregarious, communicative. They almost even seem gossipy. They chatter and cackle as they fly across the sky. It's quite something to hear and to behold. You can always hear them coming and you can hear them going, and they always move in groups. Very communal, very social. Co-create is, I believe, the heart of this reading, which is why I've put it in the center today. Here we see what I believe to be a leopard and an owl. Very different species. And yet, these unlikely bedfellows have co-created. They have joined together, and they have created something quite other, the offspring of which will retain and manifest the attributes of both the spots of the leopard and something of the owl, which we see in the egg form. And what will it be? We don't know. It's an unknown new being. But it is a possibility that is most unexpected and exciting to see what it will bear. And then the card 11, Individuality, which speaks for itself. It speaks for itself, but in the context of this reading, the individual, I believe, is called upon to join in community. You cannot go it alone. We cannot go it alone. What the world calls upon us at this moment to do is to think creatively, to think outside of the box, to think outside of our usual customary communities, to look to new bedfellows, to co-create And the possibilities of this are not known, but they are possibilities, which means that they can be something that, although we can't think of on our own, we couldn't possibly create this on our own as individuals, with new allies, some of whom may not be our usual allies. These might be people, these might be others who actually in the past have been enemies, foes, competitors, or just people who weren't exactly in your tribe. Doesn't have to be necessarily that negative or dramatic, but just people who you don't normally seek out. You don't necessarily understand them fully, maybe don't even want to understand them because they are so different. And yet, what could be created if we came together? What could be the fruits of a collaboration? What could be the red garden that we all could enjoy? A garden that could feed all of us, house all of us, protect all of us. What I see in this spread of cards is a possibility of a community, a vibrant, even exotic community where all types can live together peaceably and can create together something new, but also within which the individual is still able to retain their individuality. The things that set that individual apart are possible, are celebrated. These vibrant red colors that show up in the card on either side. The garden has a lot of reds and pinks in it. The individuality card is reddish, orangish, strong, fundamental to this garden, to this community, is the individual. This is not a place of assimilation. It's a place of diversity. And the diversity creates something new. And this cheetah, which sits upon this sort of, structure, a platform upon which are classical friezes. Perhaps there was a statue there once. There's something of a very old classical, almost, institutional, the old institutions which are being made anew. And I think that's very appropriate to these times we find ourselves in. The old is being disassembled, and while some things will stand at the base, something new will have to be built. And to build it, it will take all of us. And I think these cards call for a collaborative and social approach in which the individual rights and individual differences can be maintained, tolerated, celebrated, and together as a beautiful community of individuals, we come together as the green parrots do. It may be loud, it may be cacophonous, it may not be the most, it may not be the kind of gathering that is of the usual harmonics of, all members of a community are the same. No, this is something where the cacophony of difference is the beauty of the community. I believe that these cards are welcoming us to consider the possibility of such a place. Consider the possibility of such a gathering of a tribe made up of many different types We are all individuals. We are all necessary. And we all live here peacefully. Where in your life, in your individual life, could this apply? Where can you use your assets as an individual to come together with others, not only of like mind, which is the most comfortable position from which to operate, but truly of all types? Are there people in your life who you might have overlooked in other times, in easier times, because they're not quite your type? Are there people with whom you could collaborate to create something, to create possibilities for both of you, for all of you? Look to this in your life, where this could apply to you. And this full moon in Aquarius is a good time to contemplate this. Something that works for all. Very Aquarian, I believe. Something that works for all. We come together as individuals for the good of all.